Hi, my name is Nicholas Reed, and this is my reading for week 9 of Physics 2211, semester of fall 2020. So the topics for this week that we covered were the spring potential, rope, the physics of the rope using the spring potential stuff we just went over, uh, power, dissipation, and thermal energy, as well as the transferring of the thermal energy. So what I learned this week was spring potential as something that is brand new to me. I have never used that before. I thought that was pretty cool how the equation didn't change a whole lot from what we used to determine force, and now it allows us to find the power. Well, yeah, the power. I mean the work that it did. And then we went over power, which is something I was familiar with from high school since we worked with it. I understood the concepts of it from in real life applications, such as like cars and stuff. Like, oh, it's got to be able to put out this much horsepower per hour. I mean, look at Tesla Model. Well, any Tesla model, they'll tell you what the kilowatt hour is. It's telling you the watts per hour that it can produce. Um, I also learned dissipation. That was something I wasn't very familiar with. I thought it helped explain why certain things happen, so why there's imperfect loops, and that why when reactions are happening and they're interacting, that it eventually will slow down because things like friction, air resistance, and all that stuff will sap energy from that system until there's almost nothing left. And then another thing I was familiar with was thermal energy. I worked a lot with this in high school in designing certain, well, working with the concepts of thermal energy in high school since it's part of high school curriculum. And I was already pretty familiar with that, especially the specific heat part where each element has its own unique specific heat, and that helps you determine the flow of energy through that material. What really made me curious was the power thing because I'm very much I'm in aerospace engineering, so the power that certain rockets or jet engines can produce, which they produce to create lift over the wings, I thought that was really cool since it explains how, well, you could go this distance in this amount of time compared to this amount of time. It shows why power would matter. Like I could walk the same distance and I would do the same amount of work, but I wouldn't produce the same amount of power. Um, and that was really interesting to me. Um, and the some resources I looked to help me understand these problems, since I struggled a bit with the power problems at first. Um, I was struggling to understand it, so I went to YouTube. I found some videos explaining how to do certain problems and the concepts with it. And I also went to Khan Academy to practice doing some more problems, and I felt that helped a lot with understanding what was going on in this week's lecture. That is all. Thank you, and have a great day.